Compton Frugal Homestead, jumping right in. Here are those seedlings that have been struggling and unwilling to grow. We're going to transplant them today, and the expectation is growth, success. The cuttings from my last video are doing great. More on that next time. For now, let's repot this pepper that I have going on right here. We started with some torn leaves at the bottom of the pot to help with keeping the growing medium from spilling out of said pot. We're adding some of that great soil mixture to start here, as you can see. We're trying to eliminate some of those air pockets by patting it down. Get those weeds out of the way there. And here's that pod. It's a little scorpion pepper of some sort, like a black scorpion pepper. Alright, we're going to remove some of that dirt there, expose the roots a bit, so that we can go ahead and plant it in this pot and really get those roots to take in the new soil. That's a pretty good height there. Happy with that. Now we'll go ahead and add some more of the soil. Fill it right in. Alright, we'll pat it down. Make sure we don't have too many air pockets. Make sure that soil is nice and dense. Not too much. Those birds never stop chirping, and Luigi there never stops barking. Alright, back here with some compost. Real nice stuff. Hopefully, by adding some nutrition to this little seedling here, it'll give it what it needs to grow. It's gonna happen. Alright, what we need next is a little bit of mulch. Look at that. Stole that from one of the pots there. It's some of my homemade wood chips, or DIY wood chips. We're going to add that to protect that compost, to keep it from drying out, from keeping the soil from drying out, and that should help that seedling and let grow. I'm just transferring that label onto this pot. That label should read Gregory's pepper. It's a family member's pepper. Once again, it's a black scorpion pepper. Look at that. Alright, let's find a new home for this little plant. This place will suffice. Some H2O. Always water in your transplants. Helps with that transplant shock. Little protection. That will also help. Alright, transplant number 2. San Marzano tomato. That's just some leftover dirt. Pretty good stuff though, look at that. We start by tearing up some more leaves. These are loquat leaves. That tree puts out these leaves in abundance, so let's use them for mulch and for everything we can. Now we'll go ahead and get this new plant, San Marzano tomato to be exact. We'll remove some of that excess dirt. We can go ahead and expose more of those roots, and again that should help the roots grow into the new medium. Look at that. Let's give it a good height. Remember that we can plant these relatively deep. In fact, that helps the plant. So let's do that. We'll also add some of that other soil. It's very dry as you can see, but we're going to water it in so it's not going to be a problem. Alright, next, we're going to come in with some more of that compost. We're going to feed these little plants. Look at that. We're going to feed these plants and that should help. Let's spread that compost all throughout that pot. Pat it down. Get it real nice. And now we're back once again, you guessed it, with more of those DIY wood chips. These wood chips aren't DIY, but rather in-house wood chips. We have a giant jacaranda tree that I often harvest branches from. Alright, we'll put this tomato next to our first pepper plant that we just transplanted. Let's give it some water. Always water in your repots or transplants. Very nice. And some protection. We do have a lot of squirrels running around. Alright, next we have this mammoth sunflower. Not doing well in that little red cup. Lost a few roots there. A new home is all it probably needs. Look at all those roots. In we go. I need some compost, so let's go over to our compost tumbler. That left side's got compost ready to go. It's not really a hot compost, but it works. Look at that. Let's go ahead and spread around all of those wood chips. That's obviously going to keep that compost from being picked at by the birds. We don't want to lose any worms. It'll keep the compost nice and fresh, keep it from drying out. It'll keep the soil from drying out too rapidly. Let's also water it in. You get the routine. Next we have these two San Marzano tomatoes. They've been going for a few weeks, and well, look at them. Pathetic. Let's give them a new home. But first, we gotta clean this whole big pot. We gotta clean it up. That's looking much better. We'll dig it up here, make sure we can get that plant nice and deep inside that hole. During the off season, if you want to call it that, I'm constantly putting in different types of material into these pots, compost and other organic material, just to keep them viable. Look at the roots, they are coming through that cup. It's definitely time to transplant. We'll remove some of that excess dirt, expose some of those roots, bury it nice and deep, and expect success. It's pretty decent. Alright, rinse and repeat. Some pretty good soil there, look at that. Full of worms and so on. It's nice. This pot here, just like the last one, its size I would say is about 15, maybe 20 gallons in size. That should be more than enough for 2 medium-sized San Marzano tomatoes. They're going to be happy and we should get a good crop out of them. We have 2 little plants there, so we'll go ahead and divide them. That growing medium you see there is a mixture of mostly coconut coir with some sand. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. Voila, 2 plants. Let's get all that good soil back in there, nice and compressed. Alright, and now you see this PVC structure with some shade cloth on there to protect these transplants. Just temporarily. Eventually they'll need full sun. And now we're going to go ahead and transplant that last seedling. The one that just came from that cup with 2 plants in one. And that over there is my dog Luigi. Likes to help out around the garden by taking naps and barking. Just use a little patience so that you don't damage those little seedlings. We'll give it a new home. This little area here, it's got some good shade. Protect it from transplant shock. Obviously we'll water it in. And as you can see, I got this little screen there for protection again from squirrels or whatever other critters may be around. My favorite part of gardening is usually transplanting, uppotting. The chore I do the most is what you see here. It's me watering. I don't have a system just yet for like an automatic sprinkler system. So for now, we're doing a lot of hand watering. What am I saying? We. I'm doing a lot of hand watering. And, again, it's a chore. It's got to get done. I'm out there every other day, maybe. It's a chore. The harvest makes it all worth it. Look at that. Another successful day in the garden. The plants appear to be happy. The trees are happy. You just saw, got some avocados. Gonna eat like a king. That's for sure. You gotta keep at it. It's advantageous to get out to your garden often for short periods of time and having success rather than letting all those chores pile up and having them test your work ethic all season long. Check out my Instagram at Compton Frugal Homestead for more small bits of content. I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching, especially if you're still watching this video. See you next time. And also don't forget to like or subscribe if you care to.